coming up on Retirement Solutions Television.
We're looking to create a strategy and a plan that will help you go to retirement with confidence, knowing that you have the right strategy for Social Security, knowing that you have your personal savings in the proper position, so that when you get ready to go to retirement, that you can have confidence and enjoy the things that you want to do during retirement.
We're going to talk about what your current health looks like so that we can plan for income as long as you live, so that you don't ever have to worry about running out of money.
There's the cash bucket, the income bucket, the inflation bucket, the growth bucket, and the legacy bucket. Those 5 buckets, the very foundation piece, the most important, if you're thinking of retirement, is do you have reliable income that's going to cover your lifestyle?
And now your hosts of Retirement Solutions Television, the Retirement Brothers, Tyson and Ryan Thacker.
Hello and welcome to Retirement Solutions Television. My name is Ryan Thacker, along with my brother Tyson Thacker, and we are the Retirement Brothers.
We've got 30 minutes worth of action-packed education ready for you. Let's get started.
This week we have a very interesting topic. We call it the three-legged retirement stool. Going into retirement in the past, it used to be you could plan on your pension check, your Social Security check, and your personal savings. Well, Tyson, a little bit's changed since the good old days, right? What happened to happily ever after? Let's talk about the stool for most people right now.
So the first one that you mentioned, Ryan, is that pension check. It used to be that most people, I remember so well, our own Grandpa Shaw, that when he retired from the smelter, he not only got a gold watch, but they had a retirement party for him. And until our grandma passed, she was able to receive that pension check both for her as well as the time that Grandpa was there.
And for most of your parents and grandparents, that's what you had. You got to age 65, happily ever after was the party, right, that they had for you. The gold watch, and then that paycheck that came every single month, that was the mailbox money. How's that doing right now for most Americans?
Less than 18% of anybody now has a pension. And even just recently, there were several companies along the Wasatch Front that changed their pension and said, look, for some of you as employees, we're going to discontinue this altogether. We're going to give you a lump sum. So there's a big sea change happening, and it's not going away. In fact, pensions as a result may completely go away at some point in the future.
And here's what happens. Here's the stress and here's the pressure that happens when the pension goes away. It takes the three-legged stool and makes the two-legged stool work even harder. This is the time when you need to have a strategy, right?
Yeah.
And what we really don't want to have happen is the two-legged stool becomes a one-legged stool and you're just balancing there. So here's what you need to do is you need to look at your own retirement assets right now, and if you do not have a pension, we need to build a private pension. I mean, that's a lot of the work that we do. When we talk about the Boss Retirement Blueprint and the 5 buckets, there's the cash bucket, the income bucket, the inflation bucket, the growth bucket, and the legacy bucket. Those 5 buckets, the very foundation piece, the most important, if you're thinking of retirement, is do you have reliable income that's going to cover your lifestyle?
Now let's talk about another important piece of the three-legged stool. It's Social Security. Now again, if you look back in the past, Social Security used to be almost 2/3 of someone's retirement income. And so it was a lot easier to be able to have the pension, have your own savings, not touch that very much, and then be able to have the Social Security as well. It's now down to about 33% for most people. About 1/3 of your money is going to come from Social Security in retirement.
Well, and the most recent statistics from Social Security say that 1/3 of your income, so 1/3, I'll tell you where that other third went, it's coming from earnings.
That's right.
Earnings. That means that you're not retiring. That means you're still working. And so that's really not the American dream that most of you out there had in mind when at age 25 you said, I'm going to work for the next 25, 30, 35 years, and then I'm going to go back to work, right? So, I mean, this is something that is a wake-up call. If you're getting ready for retirement, we call it the retirement red zone. The 5 years before you retire and the 5 years after you retire, this is really the time that you need to start looking at this.
So let's talk about this last leg, your own savings. Now, for most of you, that's going to be an IRA, that's going to be a 401k, that could be a brokerage account. But there's never been more pressure on having this money set aside. And another thing that happened in the early 80s was these 401ks really took off because pensions started to go away at that point. And most of you have never had any training in how to manage that 401k. So you've got these wild up and downs that are happening about every 5 years, Ryan, that it really can knock you back 30, 40, or even 50%. And so if you've got less money in Social Security, if there's less in a pension, that is really, that savings becomes a huge piece for most people where they still fall short.
Well, and this boils down to having a strategy for that retirement nest egg and being able to build safety and security in there so that if the market goes down and has one of these a correction like it has every 5 to 7 years, then the nest egg's not cracked.
So if this has raised some questions for your own income, for your own Boss Retirement Blueprint that you'd be interested in finding out more, please join us on the website, start the conversation in person as well. We'd be happy to sit down and share with you how we can help.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Having no clear retirement plan is a mistake I see a lot in my financial planning office when I meet with someone new. It is extremely rare that someone comes in and has a clearly defined income plan for his or her retirement. One way you will be able to get a clearly defined retirement income plan is to talk to an independent financial advisor who specializes in retirement planning. Not someone who is specialized in getting you to retirement, but someone who is dedicated to getting you through retirement. If you don't have a clear retirement plan, then be one of the first 5 callers and you will receive a free complimentary planning review. There is no obligation and no cost if you have at least $200,000 saved for retirement. Here's what you will receive: a free report to sort through your current advisor costs, a tailored plan to guard your investments, tax analysis to reduce liability and increase cash flow, and a custom income plan to boost retirement. Plus, you'll receive a budget assessment to help manage your cash flow. So call now for your free, no obligation financial review.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
A few weeks ago, I had a couple come into our Salt Lake office and I had the chance to meet with them and get to know them better. And I thought I'd share this information with you because we are passionate about educating you on things that may be of interest to you, as this was in this couple's case. The very first question as I sat down with them was I asked them about their story. And we'll call her Sue, the wife in this situation. She told me a story about how her mother and father had lived a long life. In fact, that's one of the things that we always ask about is, tell me a little bit about the longevity in your family. And so as this story unfolded, she talked about how her father had Alzheimer's and lasted for quite a long time. And her mother also needed some assisted care as she entered into the final phases of her life. So with that, she said, whatever you do, I have got to have long-term care. Now, it is true that in 4 out of 5 cases across the country, people need some kind of assisted care before they pass. This is an important part of the equation as we look at the Boss Retirement Blueprint. We always want to make sure that not only can we help you in your early retirement years, but we help you all the way through retirement and make sure that you are in a situation where you don't run out of money. And sadly, too many people run out of money because there is just no planning done. That's one of the pieces that is so important about the Boss Retirement Blueprint is we look at the income, we look at the inflation, we look at the growth, and then we look at the legacy. Too often, there are people who the husband passes first, the wife ends up having not enough money to take care of her because all of that money was spent to take care of him in his remaining years. So I said, absolutely, we will take a look at this situation and we will come back and let's talk about it again in a couple of weeks. So as we met with them the next time, that was the first question that was on Sue's mind again. Sue, again, was saying, look, I want to make sure that I'm taken care of and that my husband's taken care of. This is too important to us. Can you share this with us before we get to anything else? And so as we talked about that, I said, absolutely. Let's talk first about the income bucket as it relates to this. There are some specific types of products that you can utilize with the income bucket to not only give you income throughout your retirement years, but to help you to assist with long-term care of some sort. It gives you additional funds for long-term care, in other words. There are also some ways to leave a legacy with specific types of products that are going to help you to have the ability to have some long-term care attached to those products as well. Now, I want to share with caution this following piece. It's not always about the product. In fact, we always talk about how important it is to have the plan in place. It's more important to have a plan because you can have the best product in the world, but if there's no plan to make sure that the cash is taken care of, the income is taken care of, the inflation, growth, and legacy is taken care of, it doesn't matter. So in this case, we were able to solve their need both with income and inflation, lastly growth, all utilizing products with an overall plan within the Boss Retirement Blueprint to help them to utilize and get to their goal, but at the same time not break the bank. So with that, I'd welcome you to join our mailing list, look at our website, come into the office. We'd be happy to start a conversation just like we did with Sue and her husband.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Remember when life was simpler? When things didn't move quite so fast and the world didn't seem so complex? Remember that? We do. And as the world around us has continued to speed up, becoming more complicated and still a bit uncertain, we have managed to keep things simple, providing sound, easy-to-understand financial advice and customized roadmaps for the road ahead, from tax reduction strategies, investment advice, and guaranteed retirement income you cannot outlive, backed by the claims-paying ability of insurance companies. We can be your single point of contact, a single call, a voice you recognize well, and a partner who can be by your side for the entire journey. We can't stop the world around us, but we can help ensure you're prepared for what's to come. To schedule a no-obligation meeting, simply contact us today.
Having no clear retirement plan is a mistake I see a lot in my financial planning office when I meet someone for the first time. It is extremely rare that someone comes in and has a clearly defined income plan for his or her retirement. One way you'll be able to get a clearly defined retirement income plan is to talk to an independent financial advisor who specializes in retirement planning. Not someone who specializes in getting you to retirement, but someone who is dedicated getting you through retirement. If you don't have a clear retirement plan, then be one of the first 5 callers and you'll receive a free complimentary planning review. There's no obligation and no cost if you have at least $200,000 saved for retirement. Here's what you'll receive: a free report to sort through your current advisor costs, a tailored plan to guard your investments, tax analysis to reduce your tax liability and increase your cash flow, and a customized income plan to boost your retirement. Plus, you'll receive a budget assessment to help you manage your cash flow. So call now for your free, no-obligation financial review.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV. Hi, and welcome to this week's Retirement Roundtable, where we have a great topic. As usual, I'm accompanied by Ryan and Tyson Thacker of Boss Retirement. Guys, how you doing?
Great. Great.
All right. Are you ready for this? I love this topic, and that is retirement planning has been turned upside down. Ryan, tell me what that means.
Well, it used to be there was a 3-legged stool. You had a pension, Social Security, and then you had your personal savings. Well, the reality today is, Mark, is less than 19% of Americans have a pension. So that means 81% do not have a pension. And what that really means is if you're planning on retirement with that 3-legged stool, you better get ready because it's more like a two-legged stool now as we head into retirement. And what we're looking for is we're looking to create a strategy and a plan that will help you go to retirement with confidence, knowing that you have the right strategy for Social Security, knowing that you have your personal savings in the proper position, so that when you get ready to go to retirement, that you can have confidence and enjoy the things that you want to do during retirement.
So Tyson, people are really on their own today. They got to do a little digging and find out, okay, if it is in fact a two-legged stool, how do I best utilize the money that I'm making? What do I have to do?
It's all about a plan. And really what we're talking about here too, in addition to the plan, is making sure every piece is part of that plan. Let me give you another example. Not only have pensions gone away, but Social Security is much less than 27% of somebody's paycheck now. And as a result, you've got to rely on your own savings more than ever and make sure that it lasts as long as you do.
And you know, here's another thing too. I think a lot of people are confused on, when do I take Social Security? Ryan, should I take it right out of the gate? Should I wait a little bit? You know, obviously it's best to see an advisor to talk about that, but let's talk about that for a minute, because if you wait, there could be a lot more money coming your direction, right?
Mark, there's over 2,700 different rules in the Social Security handbook. And so the number one question that we get all the time is, when should I take Social Security? I mean, this is an individualized question. In our company, Boss Retirement Solutions, the B period, O period, S period, S period stands for build the optimal system of security. And that's what we'll do for you, help you wring every single nickel out of Social Security.
Awesome. Tyson, Ryan, thanks so much. Don't go anywhere. We got a lot of great stuff to come. You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV.
Life, a series of moments. A touch, a look, a laugh. Successful people. It might not be superior imagination. It just might be superior retirement planning. Imagine what's next. Plan today, own tomorrow.
Call Boss Retirement Solutions, 801-610-1234.
Having no clear retirement plan is a mistake I see a lot in my financial planning office when I meet with someone new. It is extremely rare that someone comes in and has a clearly defined income plan for his or her retirement. One way you will be able to get a clearly defined retirement income plan is to talk to an independent financial advisor who specializes in retirement planning. Not someone who is specialized in getting you to retirement, but someone who is dedicated to getting you through retirement. If you don't have a clear retirement plan, then be one of the first 5 callers and you will receive a free complimentary planning review. There is no obligation and no cost if you have at least $200,000 saved for retirement. Here's what you will receive: a free report to sort through your current advisor costs, a tailored plan to guard your investments, tax analysis to reduce liability and increase cash flow, and a custom income plan to boost retirement. Plus, you'll receive a budget assessment to help manage your cash flow. So call now for your free, no obligation financial review.
You're watching Retirement Solutions Television, Utah's Retirement TV. Hey guys, this is part 2 of a 2-part series. Social Security, so many questions, very big topic in households. We spoke a lot of things last week, a lot of different topics, but today I want to talk about taxes and Social Security. Ryan.
Of one thing, Mark, that's going to hit retirees like a ton of bricks, it's the taxes when it comes to Social Security. And here's the big challenge. Is a lot of you out there thinking, I've already paid my taxes on my Social Security, so I'm retired. Now I'm just going to be able to take this without any taxes. Here's the challenge, is if you are married and you're taking that and you make more than $44,000 a year in what's called provisional income.
Again, $44,000.
So this is just other sources of income besides
a little
Social
bit less
Security.
for somebody who's single.